On some moons, you wouldn't even have time to scream before your lungs boil. On others, you might freeze solid in silence, or drown in alien seas of methane. So, what would dying on every moon actually be like? Tonight, we're going on a chilling journey across the solar system. From our own barren moon to the volcanic hellscape of Io and the frigid methane lakes of Titan, we'll explore what would happen if you, right now, stepped unprotected onto the surface of each one. How long would you survive? What would kill you first? And which moons are the deadliest of all? Stick with me, because some of these outcomes will shock you. Step onto the moon with no spacesuit, and death comes fast. There's no air, no pressure. Your lungs would empty in an instant. Oxygen in your blood keeps you alive for just 10 to 15 seconds. Then unconsciousness. Within 2 minutes, your body is starved of oxygen. If you're in sunlight, searing heat cooks you. In shadow, you freeze. But make no mistake, the lack of air pressure alone is enough. The moon doesn't roar when it kills you. It simply lets the vacuum do its work. Europa looks calm, a frozen ball of cracked ice hiding oceans beneath. But standing here, you'd be cooked by radiation invisible to the eye. Jupiter's magnetosphere blasts Europa with doses so high, you'd be dead in a day even with a full oxygen tank. Without protection, your DNA is shredded, organs fail, and death comes in agony. Ironically, Europa's hidden ocean might host life, but the surface will never let you see it. Imagine standing on a world where the ground itself breathes fire. Io is the most volcanic place in the solar system, spewing lava higher than Mount Everest. The air? Sulfur dioxide. Poison. The ground? Trembling with eruptions that could melt you alive. You'd suffocate in toxic fumes, and if not, boiling lava would end you instantly. On Io, death doesn't sneak up. It explodes. The largest moon in the solar system, bigger than Mercury, but still deadly. Its surface is frozen solid, its air far too thin to breathe. You'd lose consciousness from vacuum in seconds, but unlike Europa, you wouldn't fry with radiation as quickly. Here, you'd freeze quietly, your body crystallizing into a statue of ice and silence. Callisto is a scarred relic, a graveyard of impacts. Strangely, it's less hostile than its siblings. The radiation is weaker here. Still, the vacuum suffocates you in under 2 minutes, and temperatures plunge to minus 140 degrees Celsius. A human body wouldn't stand a chance. But if you had to pick one Jovian moon to die on, this is the least cruel. Titan is Saturn's largest moon, cloaked in thick orange haze. At first, it seems survivable. Pressure here is 1.5 times Earth's, so your blood wouldn't boil. You wouldn't explode, but you'd suffocate in nitrogen and methane with no oxygen to breathe. Worse, you could wander into lakes of liquid methane and drown in alien seas colder than Antarctica's heart. Your last breath would taste like gasoline. At first glance, Enceladus seems harmless. A tiny, icy moon. But its surface is a death trap of cracks and geysers blasting water vapor into space. Step too close, and you could be hurled skyward by jets of freezing liquid, suffocating as you arc through vacuum before crashing back down as a shattered corpse of ice. Enceladus looks beautiful, but it kills with sudden violence. Looking like the Death Star, Mimas is a frozen world with nothing to offer life. No air, no heat, just a silent vacuum. Here, death is mercifully quick. Suffocation, unconsciousness, then a frozen tomb. Its giant crater stares like an eye, watching you die. Saturn's moons, Rhea and Dione, are both icy, both airless. Your death here mirrors that on the moon, unconscious in seconds, dead within minutes. No atmosphere, no mercy. Rhea may have a thin layer of oxygen, but not enough to save you. Both worlds would leave your body perfectly preserved in ice, an eternal statue in alien snow. Neptune's moon, Triton, is a frozen nightmare. Its surface is covered in nitrogen ice, with geysers spraying black plumes miles high. Temperatures sink to minus 235 degrees Celsius. Exposed flesh would freeze solid in moments. Eyes and lungs would crystallize instantly. Triton's cold doesn't just kill, it erases you. No heat, no breath, no second chances. These moons are distant, dark, and frozen. With almost no atmosphere, death comes the same way. Vacuum, suffocation, and freezing. Their remoteness makes them lonelier than death itself. Here, the silence is complete, your last breath echoing into nothingness. Tiny, jagged moons orbiting Mars. They're too small for air, too small for warmth. If you stood on Phobos, Mars would loom huge in the sky, but you'd be gasping, choking, gone in under a minute. Deimos offers the same fate. Their danger isn't dramatic, it's emptiness. You'd die not from violence, but from nothingness itself. So why does death wait on every moon? Because humans evolved for one fragile bubble, Earth. Our atmosphere shields us from radiation, balances pressure, and provides oxygen. The further we step from Earth, the more alien and lethal the conditions become. Even the most friendly moons will not forgive a mistake. The challenge is simple yet terrifying. Can humanity ever survive beyond Earth's cradle without being crushed by these hostile worlds? Scientists are already working on solutions. Thick radiation shelters could allow colonies on Europa's underside, beneath ice shielding. Titan's dense atmosphere, while unbreathable, could be used for flying exploration with wings strapped to your arms. Callisto, with its weaker radiation, could be a future outpost. And Enceladus? Its geysers might one day give us water for fuel, but survival doesn't come cheap. Every moon demands protection. Suits, shields, habitats. Forget even one, and death rushes in within minutes or seconds. Exploring these worlds means carrying Earth's bubble of safety wherever we go. The question is, are we ready to risk it? Picture this. You step onto Titan with only an oxygen mask. For a moment, you feel safe. The air presses around you, thicker than Earth's. You're not exploding. You're not freezing. But then the mask fails. You gasp, and instead of oxygen, your lungs fill with nitrogen and methane. You choke. Your vision fades. And beyond the orange haze, Saturn looms in silence, watching as you sink to your knees. Every moon offers its own ending. Lava on Io, radiation on Europa, ice on Triton, suffocation on Ganymede, drowning in methane on Titan. Each one a reminder. Space is beautiful, but it is not gentle. And out there, death waits in more ways than we ever imagined. So, what would dying on every moon be like? On airless worlds, it's vacuum suffocation. On frozen moons, it's instant crystallization. Around Jupiter, it's radiation sickness. On Io, it's volcanic fire. On Titan, it's drowning in seas of methane. Each moon tells a story not just of death, but of survival. Because if we can understand what kills us, maybe one day we can learn how to live there instead. Until then, these alien worlds remain silent killers, waiting for the first human footsteps and the first human mistake. There instead. Until then, these alien worlds remain silent killers, waiting for the first human footsteps and the first human mistake.